resorted to like primitive methods as the caveman did. You get the dirty water.
Hey, from the camera, it looks pristine. Little backstory, it's been sitting outside with the window down.
Yeah.
Rotting away.
See, it's not drying. You need to be able to like wash it off. It's bulky.
This is the way you don't wash a car.
I should have just taken it to the car wash.
Yeah, what?
This just sucks, man. You can't get the water off with the soap off.
Guys, don't do this. Who wants to watch you manually clean a car?
It's just making more of a mess.
I'll be surprised if you get more than 10 views.
At this point, I need to take it to a real car wash. This isn't gonna work. There's soap all over it.
Just save yourself. Let's just go.
No, the clutch is toast, man. I'm telling you.
And what happened? Look, what's the worst? Goes out. You still got second gear.
No, the clutch when it goes out, you have nothing. The clutch is what connects the transmission to the engine. Looks like the oil pan gasket's bad, so I'm gonna replace that. All right, transmission's out. It definitely needs a rear main seal. And here's the pressure plate. The flywheel looks the same. Here's the clutch. It's about dead. It is, the rivets were hitting. So the pressure plate and flywheel are both toast. So what happened was cameraman wasn't here to help me remove the transmission. And I have two of the same gloves. And it fell on me. I was wrestling it for an hour and a half because it got stuck. And then it fell right on me. And now my hand hurts.
How'd you get it off?
I used my whole body. It was tough. All because when I unbolted it, it fell to the right a little bit and it got stuck behind this stud that's on the firewall. And it would not leave that stud. So I was wrestling it. Here is one of the studs that we removed. I removed. So now I have cameraman. So we're gonna get the coil and heat up the other one, get it nice and red hot, and then bang it out. So now the jet engine is turning on and the electromagnetic field is heating up the flange. So once it's red hot, I'm gonna hit it and it's gonna knock the stud out.
We'll plug them up. How much was this?
This was 180 from Amazon. You just look up Bolt Buster. It's the hot rod. As you can see, the PB Blaster is melting at 700 degrees.
Oh, it stinks.
You should have seen it earlier. It was like a cloud under here.
It stinks.
Oh, I had to open the door and leave. Oh, sucky. Oh my god.
It's not coming off.
Alright. Let's pound it. There it goes. There it goes.
Wow.
The Bolt Buster 3000, everyone. One. This thing's heavy. Woo! Alright, so as you can see, the rear main seal is not really leaking. It's just all the oil pan. So I ordered an oil pan gasket because you might as well do that while you're in here. If you're doing this job yourself, the bottom two bolts on the housing for the rear main, those need thread sealants on them. And I believe all the oil pan bolts do too, but they're not reusable apparently. So new oil pan bolts. So what the? Ooh, a blue thingy is broken right there. That's probably a vent or something. I don't know. I have to see what that is. I'm gonna do the rear main anyways because they're prone to leaking on these cars. And then the flywheel bolts need sealant on them, but I think you're supposed to use new ones anyways. And then there's the pilot bearing. I gotta get a pilot bearing puller to get that out. All right, with the transmission out, I'm gonna replace throwout bearing. This is the pilot bearing. Here's the rear main seal gasket for the housing. And I have this for the pivot ball. Here is the old one. You can see the top's wearing away. And the new one, it should never wear away. That's all assembled, ready to go back in. I'm gonna make a chase now so I can chase the threads for the back of the crank where the flywheel mounts. Here's my chase. I took one of the old flywheel bolts and I used a cutting disc and I just cut some slots into it, and I chased these threads so they're all fresh. And I'm gonna put it in the crank now, and I think put a little grease in it so it catches the old RTV stuff. So I picked up these wheels for it today, all four. So I'm pretty excited. I like the style of these wheels. I like how aggressive they look. And the ones that are on it, they just look silly in my opinion. So clutch is all installed. It's aligned properly. And hopefully the transmission will go in easy tomorrow. All right, everyone, cameraman has left me stranded to work alone. I told him to be here at 9, and it is now almost 9:30. And yeah, he's not gonna be here for a little bit. So I'm gonna try to lift the transmission and put it in all by myself. So the car is all back together. Clutch is working. I've only tried first and reverse, but it's working. And new wheels are on. In the rear, I need to get one bolt because these all, on this, just this specific wheel, were all frozen. So, and then this one stripped a little bit. But I used the hot rod and it got them out with ease. Here's the interior after I cleaned it. So everything came out really well. Like the seats, this is the only wear right here, and then this little mark, and that's the only wear. The passenger seat's perfect. The rear seats, they all came out in really good shape. A little wear on the shifter, and this plastic stuff all is scratched up. They probably threw keys here or something. But I got this Amazon screen, and it's the $200 one on Amazon, and it's all right. It's got Bluetooth and stuff, and it looks pretty good. So yeah, can't complain about that. Overall, the interior came out really well. So yeah, this car, it's really looking good. Come on. Oh, jeez. There it goes. Man, who installed these? Come on. Oh no. I got new springs installed in the rear because the passenger side had a broken one on the bottom. And then there was a lot of clanking, which I thought was just a broken spring or bad struts. But it turns out the previous owner, one of the previous owners, they put these struts in, they're Duralast, and they put this top plate on backwards. So it's just been wobbling around and clanking ever since. So I don't understand how you install something and then it just clanks nonstop after that and you just leave it. But yeah, this was definitely the issue. So I got some new struts, or shocks, whatever they are, and some new top hats, and I'm gonna put them on now and then throw it all back together. Ooh. Man. Now it's got a little more wheel gap. Jeez. Now if I go like this, it's not just the struts bumping around. Man, this thing looks good. So I just checked the oil and coolant. It's both looking good. Now I actually have wheel gap in the rear. so it's not gonna rub. It'll settle down a little bit probably, and then be pretty close to what the front's at. So yeah, whoever did those rear struts in the past definitely did them incorrect, and now there should be really no more issues. The next episode is going to be buffing it. I was gonna do that first, but then the clutch, I was like, I don't want to drive it on a bad clutch because it was really rough, and so I couldn't really drive it anywhere you could wash it. But now that I did the clutch, I washed it properly the other day, so now it's basically ready to be buffed. And then yeah, it's gonna come out really good. Yeah, this thing just looks too good. And with everything now, I'm gonna have to total it all up. But even with the wheels, which whenever I sell the car, I'm gonna take those off and sell them for what I paid, or maybe a little bit more. I got them for a good deal. But yeah, with everything, without the wheels, I'm probably like maybe 1,800, 1,700 into it. With the wheels, like 23-ish. So for like around 2,500 in total with other things that are gonna come up. That's incredible for this car. And I have the cluster coming back. The guy fixed it. It has 164,000 miles. So it's pretty low mileage for one of these.
If I ain't one of the greats, they tell me who it is. I've been focusing on my babies just cause they my kids. I took off all my necklaces, cause see the plot twist. Magnificent.